guys, and welcome to the finale of Let's Play Grandia 3. Last time, we made it to the final save point and re-obtained Alfina. This time, we're going to go over our setup one final time and move on to the end. Alright, so we've maxed out every move except for Armageddon, just because I'm too lazy to go back and do it. I tried, for 10 minutes to go get the staff or the spirit staff. I didn't get it. I'm not particularly worried. This is my new setup for Yuki. We don't need any hunter abilities. Xorn is his own type. Let's see, so Berserker, obviously, Quick Draw. I will probably use items once in a while. I've mainly just filled things up. Attack speed increases your attack speed with your combos and stuff. So the faster you get your attacks off, the faster you get your next turn. That's just kind of how I see it. Revenge, even though I probably won't need it, and it may or may not even work. But Mighty Blow, just I needed something else to put on there. Strengthens cancel. He's not going to do very many cancel attacks anyway, but it's there. Over here, Guru's Way, Magic Up, Fire and Water Mastery for healing and for the times that she decides to actually attack. Warrior's Way for the defense. It also might affect Armageddon, so there's that too. Life Up, Unshakable Will, good choices. Over here, we also have Quick Draw, mainly just because I had an extra spot to fill. Warrior's Way, Life Up, Berserker. Guru's Way, I actually switched the... whatever book that was, the master book onto you and gave you Guru's Way because you have a lower base amount of resistance, so this will help pull that up a little bit. And so Yuki has the Slayer's book here. And finally over here, Donna has Magic Esoterica, Guru's Way, Warrior's Way, Life Up, and Unshakable Will. As far as magic spells, these are the ones that she has. She has Heaven's Gate, that's probably the only spell she'll need. Also, WoW and Diggin would be helpful. And I have Runner, good. Make sure everybody has Runner in case you're not using the Norb or in case it runs out. I gave everybody Crystal Wall because they had an extra spot, even though I'm not going to use it. It's there. And yeah, those are all the spells that I currently have. Equiption Rise, pretty much the way we ended the last episode off. Spirit Sword, Armor, Spirit Boots, and the Anne's Necklace. And let's see, you're pretty much the same as before. This prevents all status disorders. One thing of note is make sure everybody is protected from all status disorders. Final Boss can use Sickness as well as a couple other status effects. If you have the Queen's Heals, give those to her. They would be better. You have Warp Boots. Spirit Ring, everyone is protected against status effects. Everyone, except for Donna, has half elemental damage, but she has one of the highest resistance stats. Sublime card, she wants as much magic power as she can for my setup. But yeah, that's how that goes. Now, with seeds, we have all the speed seeds that we have left that increase our initiative. I'm going to give those to Yuki. Oops. And the magic seeds I am going to give to Donna. And let's see, power seeds I'm also giving to Yuki. And let's see here, I wanted to use the resistance seed, or the spirit seed there, on Ulf. And the smart seeds for magic, I'm also giving those to Donna. Oh, I gave her the MP ones. I wasn't even thinking about the MP ones. Oh well. She doesn't need the MP, but I'm leaving 4 of them left, mainly so that I can use them in battle because they restore all SP, even though I have that, which could also do that, but at least that way I have at least 2 ways for each character of restoring all their SP. Not that I'm going to particularly need it, but it's there. Magics, I think that's pretty much it. We are all set and ready to go. Let us encounter our final battle. By talking to Hecht. A bridge, huh? Okay, sure. I believe she also acts as a teleport out point. And she plays us a nice song. That works too. Magic Bridge of Scariness. I don't know, they have those buildings where, you know, like the floor's made of glass and they're like super tall and all that. Those would probably scare the crap out of me, to be honest. Like, I used to be really good with heights, and as I got to be an old person, now heights are just, they're not as, you know, carefree as they once were. But certain things like that, like I've, you know, stood atop of some of those towers and stood on those glass ones, and sometimes it doesn't bother me, sometimes it does. It depends on what's below, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird. All my belongings to you. I hope you find them useful. I will be with you in spirit. And she kind of warps there. If you would like to go back to your world, I can send you back. Yeah, so if you decide to go back, then obviously, you know, it warps you out of the final dungeon, and you can go do whatever you want. I don't think anything else has changed outside. Don't quote me on that one, because I'm not 100% sure, but let's go to the Hall of Nothingness and fight Xorn. You're a strange looking little thing, aren't you? Well, big
Xorn!
thing.
We will defeat you!
Okay. Now, I'm pretty much always in favor of, you know, having a unique boss theme that's not, you know, like a rock out boss theme or anything like that. One that's a little more quiet. Does a really good job here, that's for sure. And it does a nice job of building over time as well. First things first, Mana Spring. Second thing off, Flash. Yeah, my boss strategies for most of the last little bit of the game, we're basically going to do that here. Except for, there's a little more to it. Not a lot, but Alfina, you have nothing better to do. Sabersorb. This one will employ all buffs, Wow, Diggin, and Runner on all party members. That will be quite nice. And then Ulf is going to go for Shadow Master, Shadow Warrior, whatever you're called.
Bet you can't tell which one is me.
Now, the reason why having Yuki with the Spirit Boots, even though they don't have Warp, and why that's not a big deal, is because he's going to spend most of this boss fight standing right next to Xorn anyway. And Donna, now that nothing costs any MP, is just going to spam Heaven's Gate. So yeah, she's going to do that. I'm going to beat the crap out of him with normal attacks, and he's not really going to be able to do all that much to me, considering the fact that I am protected against most of, well, all status effects. I think the only thing that you can hit anyone with might be silence, and that really doesn't matter all that much, and look at all those hits already. Unfortunately, with my setup, yay! Final method! I got it! Alfina doesn't have a lot to do outside of her initial use of Armageddon. And that's to lower his stats. I'm not sure if it actually even works on him, but we're going to try it. I can't remember if it works on him or not. I think it does, actually. Yeah. Get all the things on him. We do even more damage to beat the crap out of this guy. And more attacks, and more Heaven's Gates.
This final card seals your fate.
But, yeah, alright, here, we'll start talking about this now. The storyline with Xorn. The ultimate evil in this game doesn't like love. And that's our whole storyline. Yeah, as you can see, someone's been warped forward a lot on the grid there. That's from using the orb. I didn't realize it was quite that good. It's kind of broken, but okay, sure.
This final card seals your fate.
But yeah, that's all that they do with this. There's not a whole lot else to Xorn. He just hates all love. And like they didn't do anything with, I don't even remember his name, the guy we never got a name for earlier on in the game. He just kind of is there. Death Knell.
The time has come for your eternal slumber.
The only attack he can do that you have to be worried about. You know, you see that wide area that he's got there? We need to get out of that area, and it's kind of difficult to do. So we're going to defend you out there, and we're going to defend you out there as well. Now, he set it up on a specific panel. It takes a while for it to get off, but the guys are going to spend the whole time beating the crap out of this guy anyway. So we're not all that worried. And all of our buffs have already run out, so that's unfortunate. So let's get WoW going first and foremost.
This final card seals your fate.
And then we'll get Runner going too. But yeah, like they could have had the Ultimate Evil be something, you know, scary. He's this weird, deformed creature thing that is afraid of love. It's very anticlimactic, and it's rather disappointing, in fact. This seems kind of weird. If you'll remember points from earlier in the game, here's Darkness. There's another ability.
This world will be mine.
Ow. I think this does like 1,000 damage to everybody. It's like one of the first things he's done to me in this fight. I might have to heal. You should keep your HP relatively high in this fight. Yeah, here's Death Knell. It's activating. As soon as it does activate, anyone standing in that range is probably dead. So if everyone's standing in there, you can get yourself a game over, but it's the only real thing you need to worry about. Any type of reviving you do should be done with, where is it? With good things. Where are they? Where's my reviving things? There we go. Move all the way forward on the gauge there on Ulf. Sure, why not?
Don't worry, I still have my trump card.
Now, I do have Magic Esoteric on. I could cancel some of the things that he's done, but I haven't really been paying much attention to it. For the most part, you don't have to.
Prepare to die, maggots!
You were supposed to go all the way, but he didn't quite go all the way. This Dimensional Gate. And yeah, that other guy that we only just learned his name once, he was there in the flashback with Emilius, and he was talking, or well, I don't think he said much of anything, but he was kind of guiding Emilius toward kind of this evil side of himself, I guess. I do love this theme though, especially when it picks up. Love it. So good. Let's see. Runner. And dig in. And there's Revenge. And I probably should have healed. Oh well.
Here I go.
Molly's down to half.
Pick up the pace!
But yeah, he's just kind of there. He's guiding Emilius toward this, you know, his evil intentions that he's got planned for him. That's why he stabs him in the back toward the end. But we don't really get to learn all that much about kind of why he's doing it, other than wanting to rule the world, you know, of course, and all that other kind of good stuff, right? It's just kind of there. There's Dark Hymn, so let's set up Shadow Warrior.
Bet you can't tell which one is me.
So it looks like it's just Ulf and Yuki in the Death Knell this time. Looks like I think everyone else is still out. You still have that on. I want to get Runner on you.
All living things must perish.
And there's that. Now I really do need to heal. I would like to get a turn going for one of the girls there. That would be nice. Yeah, you don't have anything on there, but I need to heal. Definitely need to heal.
Hear my call for healing.
So yeah, as long as you've got 2 people hidden outside of the death knell, you should be fine. We can cancel you, sure, why not?
Here I go.
I don't know what you were doing, but there's cancel, sure. He's not immune to it or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about it. Dun, 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 dun. All healer, sure, why not? I probably could have used an item. So there's the death knell. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to get them. Oh, it's only going to get Ulf this time. Again. Oh, wow, he survived it. You have to be at full health and get kind of lucky to survive it, so nice. I don't have to rebuff up again. And sets up another death knell. Lovely.
For your eternal slumber.
Alright. So Yuki goes, Ulf goes. And you could set up Crystal Wall also to protect yourself against it. I think it negates like up to 1600 damage or something like that. Yeah. Get those 2 out of the way.
The warrior card. Give us
And I think
strength.
Alfina can probably get another, what is that
Teach
called?
you the
Armageddon
folly
off.
of your ways.
You could also use Alfina to restore a lot of your SP and use things like, so what is that again? I don't even remember what that does, to be honest. Armageddon. Thunderclap. I think this is wind elemental
All is
damage.
meaningless before me.
Ow, painful. Yeah, when I got here years ago, when I did my original playthrough of the game, I was sorely disappointed by this boss because he's really not that difficult. If you set up someone to heal, use all healer like every round, you're basically invincible. I'm not doing that because I'm trying to give him a chance by going all on the offense here. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's the death knell. It got Alfina. She's probably dead. Yep, she's dead. But that's fine. We can bring her back there. Yep. Pretty much, chances are people are going to die in this fight. There's very little ways around it, just because, you know, the faster he gets those off, the, you know, the more it's going to do. Hero's Elixir increases all attributes. Sure, why not?
Don't worry.
Wonder what that does.
Card.
Yeah, I'm not sure what status effect is on her there, but it's not really doing anything. Or maybe that's just her mana thing? Or no, I think that only got on her recently. I don't know.
I'll be fine.
But yeah, that puts all the buffs on. So there's that. But yeah, I was disappointed by this guy because it was only around this point in the game that I learned what seeds were doing and that they restored your SP. So I was like spamming seeds in this fight. And I have the seeds in case I need them. But as you can see, I've basically set up a strategy that doesn't really require them, so that we can just, you know, nuke this guy pretty much from afar, doing whatever we want to do. Armageddon. Sure, another Armageddon.
Let
Armageddon
your
is good.
anger and your hate be
But yeah,
absorbed
all
by
the
divine
downsides
light.
that this game has, and I've complained throughout the entirety of the game of all of the downsides that it does have, I still enjoy this game. You know, I really wish we'd follow different characters, but I definitely still enjoy all that this game has to offer. It's got a battle system that's fun, it's interesting, there's a lot you can do with it, and you're continuing to learn more about it over the course of the game. And the more playthroughs you have, you're even learning more over that as well. And it just gives you so many options, you know, different abilities that you can use that I really enjoy. And even with the lackluster story, I think the combat system and the equipment system really do, you know, balance out the game quite well and make up for a lot of its downfalls otherwise. But anyway, I found enough to talk to until the end of the fight. Good. Of course, half that's coming out of the review, but oh well. Oh, come on! What? No final form? Come on, you gotta have 6 forms. You're a final boss. Wish upon a shooting star. Or meteor.
Alfina!
Well, he kind of got what he was hoping for
Emilius was.
the whole time.
He was happy. You have to realize that he died, protecting you.
Well, that'll make her feel worse.
No. No. I just wanted him to live. I wanted him to see the sky. I wanted him to see this world. Emilius.
Now that's a nice moment. I kind of killed this moment for myself during my test run.
I heard him. Emilius. He said thank you.
Because I couldn't remember what happened here, and the way they were building it up, I was like, no, they're not going to bring him back. They couldn't. And that probably would have completely ruined the ending for me.
It's Griff.
But the way they do it, I enjoy the ending. And with that, the game comes to a close. And they play the opening theme, which I don't think I ever really showed. Wonder if this video gets flagged. I don't know, a lot of the time with those game, you know, those intro songs for games and stuff, they end up getting flagged by YouTube system. It's rather annoying. Anyway, that has been Grandia 3, and we can kind of keep up with what happens during the end of the game in the side images. But for the most part, I'm going to ignore and talk about my review. The characters! Some of them are awesome! You know, I've been a broken record throughout this whole game and talking about the fact that I much preferred the characters that we didn't get to keep. Miranda and Alonzo had a lot more interest in them. They were also older. And they weren't, you know, pinup girls like Donna, who is there to wear nothing and show cleavage. For the most part, I like aspects of the characters, and there's aspects I don't. You know, I like, obviously, Miranda and Alonzo, but with the characters we get, I think, enough character development to make them, you know, relatable. But there's so many missed opportunities in terms of what they could have done to go even deeper and show us their past. You know, we don't learn anywhere nearly enough about any of our characters. That's it. That's all you get. Miranda, Alonzo, they're there. And that is all we get. Yeah. But yeah, that's all we get of them. But there's so many missed opportunities that we could have got. And look what we have here. They grew up and they procreated. But yeah, like Donna and Raven, there was so much there they could have gone into. How Raven got his powers of teleportation and all this other stuff they could have done. You know, more about Amelius's backstory. I would have loved it, but we just didn't get it.
Hey, Daddy, can I fly too?
Oh, excellent.
And you're welcome for that clip. Every time I see that, it's just like, really? Okay, sure, why not? It's completely ridiculous, but that's why it's there. The voice acting, yeah, it's middle of the road. There's nothing too good or too bad about it. You know, Johnny Young Bosch, he plays characters fine. He's done a lot better at characters than Yuki, but I have a feeling there wasn't much he was left to work with. Miranda's voice actress, well, very well done. She performs her character quite well, puts more emotion into it than, you know, some of the other characters do. But, you know, that's fine. So it's middle of the road. The music. When I started the LP, I didn't think the music would get as high of a rating for me, but I wasn't really focused on it during my test run. The music is really, really good. It matches the situations very well. The music direction was excellent. And I really love a lot of the different songs, you know, songs that do epic flying moments, like stuff like this. Some of the town themes were really nice. The biggest misstep in the music for me is having the same stupid song play every time you enter a shop. I think that was a mistake, but it's a minor mistake. It's not that big a deal. Storyline. Storyline kind of leads into the characters a bit. You know, the final boss was kind of a joke, really. Not in terms of difficulty, you know, most of the game wasn't very difficult, to be quite honest. You know, it could have been a lot more difficult, and I'm guessing it was a lot more difficult. You know, like previous versions, like Grandia Extreme is supposed to be a much more difficult game. I haven't played it beyond the first hour, but, you know, this battle system is based a lot on that, so... But in terms of the story with the final boss, you know, he just doesn't like love, and we don't learn much about him until now, and all of the enemies we've been following throughout the game just kind of disappear. I know it's typical for RPG final bosses to come out of nowhere. They did it in every other, you know, 4, 9, what else? In a sense, 10. We've already played that one. You know, stuff like that. You know, these bosses just come out of nowhere. And, you know, it's there. I wish they'd put more effort into it. I guess we knew Xorn was there all along, but throwing that one, you know, throwaway character in there to betray Amelius didn't really do anything. He could have used more background. Everyone could have used more background, and I think that would have helped things out. Battle system. I got nothing but good to say about the battle system. It's kind of irritating that learning secret moves is random. I kind of wish it wasn't. But at the same time, pretty much everything else is a lot of fun. You know, the spells are useful. Setting up is fun for a specific area. You can set up, you know, some really nice setups. Characters can have really good synergy together, like Yuki and Ulf. I kind of wish there were more characters so we'd have kind of more options with that. You can set up characters in kind of counterintuitive ways with the Chaos Flail and all those types of items, and I really like that idea, being able to turn the traditional setup on its head and have a whole new take on the battle system and how you would set up characters. So I like that, even though I haven't really demonstrated. I like the idea of it and how you could make use of it. So that's really nice. As far as the rest of the gameplay, you know, Mana Fusion, it's fine. It's tedious, but there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't take that long, and it's, you know, interesting enough. It gives you the ability to get a lot of spells earlier than you otherwise would, and so it kind of focuses your playthrough around getting enough mana eggs so that you can get enough spells to be useful at specific points, which is why I got a lot of the mid-range spells the first time around, and then I got all the other spells the second time around when we had a lot better opportunities to farm for eggs. So yeah, skill books, I wish there was a couple more really good ones, but I understand why there isn't, and it kind of makes it interesting because you now set up your characters around the fact that you only have two perfect skill books, you know, the Master Book and the Expert Book, and you have to build your other characters around only being able to use two different types of skills, mind, body, and tech. So I like that in a way. Obviously I want to perfect my characters, but at the same time it gives us, you know, more creativity to work with. The graphics and the visuals are excellent. I really love the look of this game, and I think other than the fact that, you know, doing it without boosting the resolution internally on the PS2, it's starting to age quite a bit at this point. It still does look very, very nice, and there's a lot of really cool things you can look at throughout the game. It's the only other game where I found myself, you know, really looking at a lot of the scenery throughout the game, you know, in a long time, really, other than this game and Final Fantasy X, which is a gorgeous game, is Final Fantasy 13. And Final Fantasy 13 is a game I really didn't like, but I really enjoyed the... my controller went to sleep. I was going to stop it because it's making lots of noise, but we'll watch the intro video here since we never got to see it before. But yeah, I really liked the kind of the visuals from 13 when I didn't really like anything else. Here, it's not quite as bad. I hate the battle system in 13 a lot more than I hate it. Even like the, you know, the character progression or the character, you know, choosing Yuki and Alfina to focus on in this game. You know, I like that, even though I'm not a big fan of it, more than I like the battle system from 13. But anyway, comparing this to 13 isn't really fair. Comparing this back to previous games in the series, I think that's a little more fair. And there is the idea online that this game kind of killed the series because, well, this came out in, what, 04, 05, and there hasn't been a Grandia game since. And I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because the childlike nature of the story, I think, took a lot of people out of it compared to the emotional and mature story we got in Grandia 2. Now, I don't know what Grandia Extreme gave us story-wise, but I know the focus of that was, it was a dungeon crawler, so the focus was on the battle system. So you could have forgiven a story that wasn't up to par. Of course, from what I remember, that story, even at the beginning, dealt with like a camp and a war, so I'm assuming it's a little more mature than this story was. But, well, I definitely prefer pretty much everything all around from Grandia 2. The battle system, I think, was done better here, and it's less easily exploited, which I think is the real benefit. Here, we can't exploit the battle system to, get into a battle, cast a spell, and win the fight in one move. If you use Dragon Slash, you can still win most fights in one move anyway, but a lot of the time you're not going to get that off right away because you just can't get your techs off that fast in this game. So it balances out, and I like how, even though it wasn't particularly difficult, the game in general, it was more difficult in the sense that, there were a couple of difficulty spikes, and you could do some interesting things with the battles if you didn't have a lot of SP that would make them a lot more difficult kind of really quickly. Anyway, I think there's going to be a week off in between the end of this one and the start of Final Fantasy X-2, which will be the next LP. Mainly because I got to kind of the first checkpoint in Final Fantasy X-2 on chapter 5 there, and then I didn't get another checkpoint until after the Via Infinito. Somewhere I lost 0.2%. That's it, 0.2%. So yeah, that stalled my my test run of that. I'm basically at the final dungeon. I'm probably not going to go back and get the perfect ending this time in my test run, and I'll just pay a lot more attention to things and reroute a few things during the LP. But the point of that LP will be 100% story completion, not necessarily 100% item completion, because you can't do both. I'll get more into that when we actually start the LP, but other than that, there's a couple other things one other thing, maybe 2 videos, 3 videos of it, I'm not sure, depending on how recording goes, but there will be something during next week when we don't start 10.2, and you may or may not enjoy them, and yeah, that's pretty much all the time I have for today, and that's all for Let's Play Grandia 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I have enjoyed making it. It was definitely a more of an interesting take on the game than I would have had if I had just played it on my own. So thank you guys for that. But yeah, that's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.